President Scott Coker. And Scott, I know you've been asked this question a ton of times. When you looked at the 8-man field you were putting together for this light heavyweight World Grand Prix that's getting so much attention, 2 giant free agent names were sticking out of that pile, Anthony Johnson, Yoel Romero. You decided to put them together. I'd have to believe you feel like you're making the right call as the buzz is picking up heavy entering May 7th.
Yeah, Brian, absolutely. You know, one thing I learned in the Strikeforce World Grand Prix heavyweight tournament back in, I think, 2011 was we had Fedor on one side and we had Alistair on the other side. And we were hoping that they could meet each other at the very end. That didn't happen for a lot of different reasons. But we said, look, this time, let's not do that. Let's just put this fight together now, something the fans want to see, the fans can enjoy. And let's start this tournament off, you know, with the last quarterfinals with a big bang. And that's exactly what we did.
And certainly fans are expecting that same big bang you mentioned, but that's the co-main event. The main event, you're going to get a fantastic matchup in that bantamweight division with new champion Juan Archuleta and Sergio Pettis. What can we expect from that?
And that's fireworks, man. Both these guys are extremely talented, well-rounded, has a complete game, striking, wrestling, grappling. And, you know, when I think about all the accomplishments Juan has done here in Bellator, it's amazing. He's fought in different weight classes and he's always, you know, he's never turned down a fight that we offered him. This guy is a warrior. And same thing with Pettis. Look at the pedigree and the background and the history of not just their training camps, but look at their coaches and the people that these guys are training with. They're the world's best. And I'm expecting fireworks on Friday night on the next Friday.
Well, Scott Coker will stay with us throughout this call for any questions from the media, but let's not waste any time. Let's get right into that co-main event and bring on the participants. First of all, can we call him the hardest hitting striker in the history of mixed martial arts? That may be up for debate. I'm here to say that is Anthony Rumble Johnson will make his return May 7th. Rumble, welcome in. It's been such a long time coming to see you again. And of course, your opponent, we know him as the soldier of God, Yoel Romero. Welcome in as well, sir. I want to start with Rumble. You've been on a 4-year hiatus, a self-imposed retirement. We can't wait to see what it's going to look like when you step back in there. I've seen the pictures. You're in great shape. How excited are you to make your comeback on your terms here?
Super excited. You know, Bellator, I've been keeping my eye on Bellator for a while. And I'm glad I was brought on board to be a part of this organization. You know, I'm already having fun with it and I haven't fought yet. But pretty excited. You know, they gave me a debut against that monster over there, Yoel Romero. You know, what better way to have a fight with a fighter such as him? You know, he's a maniac. You know what I mean? He can fight. So I gotta make sure I'm on my game, man. This dude, he can fight. He can definitely fight.
Well, I'm going to get to Yoel in a second, but Rumble, just to close that thought, I talked with Scott just a second ago. The buzz is real for Rumble versus Romero because we don't know what to expect. We don't know what it's going to look like. I've used words like sexy, explosive to describe this matchup. Are you feeling that same sort of like, I don't know how long it's going to go, but it's going to be wild. It's going to be a wild ride to get there.
Yeah, I feel like something crazy is going to happen. When Yoel fights, man, you just never know what's going to happen. And when I fight, you never know what's going to happen. Somebody usually gets knocked out or hurt. You know what I mean? That's what happens when you put two high caliber fighters such as myself and Yoel in a cage together. You know, we don't hold back. Very explosive, very entertaining. You know, you can tell we love the sport. We love competition. Man, it almost leaves me speechless because there's so many words you can use to describe this fight and the overall event.
Let's go over to Yoel. He's the soldier of God. My colleague Luke Thomas calls him the Cuban muscle crisis. I hope that nickname sticks around for a little bit. Yoel, great to talk to you as always. Let's stay right here. Your excitement level, adding your name to the star-studded 8-man light heavyweight tournament.
¿Cómo te sientes poner tu nombre con toda esta gente?
Thank you so much. Every time is a very special time. I say thank you so much, God. Thank you so much, Bellator, for giving me this opportunity. You know, and staying in this Grand Prix when you is very good for me. You know, a very good athlete is an incredible people. You know, Rumble Johnson is an amazing fighter. You know, is a for me is when I see the Rumble Johnson, I see that the and for this division is the top guy. Is that I think in many good athletes in this division. Johnny, DC, the Iceman, you know, Tito Ortiz, Rasha Evans, and you need to put it. You need to put it. This name in this list is Rumble Johnson. For me, it's an amazing time. You know, I training very hard. I'm very happy. You know, because I don't need to lose too much power pounds, and that's an amazing time for me. I say thank you.
Well, Yoel, you'll be moving up to light heavyweight. As you mentioned, we've known most of the biggest moments in your career have come at middleweight. You're the ageless wonder, though. How different do you expect to look and feel at 205 pounds?
¿Cómo te vas a sentir? ¿Tú crees diferente en 205?
In the beginning of my career in mixed martial art, I proved in 205 before. But I think I need more experience, and now that's what I have. I have a more experience. I have a much more muscle in my body. When I fight before in 205, I don't have experience. I don't have too much muscle. But now my body is already, you know. I feel good. I feel great. I am ready for this moment.
All right, we want to turn Yoel and Anthony to the media now. Let's bring in the guy behind the guy, the PR maven to the stars, Danny Brenner, to take over.
Thanks, Brian. We'll kick things off with Jay Anderson. Your line is live.
Thanks very much, Danny. And I guess we'll start with Anthony Johnson. You touched on it a little there a moment ago, but I mean, fans are practically salivating for this fight. Do you feel that level of excitement? And are you anticipating this more than, let's say, some of your previous fights?
Yeah, I can feel it, man. The energy is definitely out there. The fans have been blowing up, you know, my Instagram, my Facebook, my Twitter. So the buzz is definitely out there. And I don't know who's more excited, me or the fans. You know what I mean? For me, it's just overall competition. You know, just to have a great fight against a great opponent for a great organization. I mean, I couldn't be happier right now in life. So this is all, it feels like a dream come true.
One of the interesting twists here is that we know who the other semifinalists are now. We know Corey Anderson's going against Ryan Bader, and the winner of your fight goes against Vadim Nemkov. You can't look too far ahead, but you know, what are your thoughts on potentially fighting for the title in the semifinals?
I haven't thought that far ahead. I'm focused on Yoel. You know, if I look past him one time, I'm done. You know what I mean? So I can't look past him. I haven't thought about Corey, I haven't thought about Bader, I haven't thought about Nemkov. I've thought about Yoel. That's the only human being that's been on my mind the last, feels like forever. You know what I mean? And mad props to those guys for making it to the semis and stuff like that, but they're not my focus. My focus is Yoel. I got to get past that monster before I can face other monsters.
All right, we'll go to Jerry.
Just a quick question for Anthony. Anthony, first of all, welcome back. It is an honor to have you. Obviously, you had an opportunity to perhaps go to heavyweight or light heavyweight. Why did you choose light heavyweight and not heavyweight?
Hell, heavyweights are, listen to the name you just said. You said heavyweights. You know what I mean? Those are some big boys that have a lot of power. And heavyweights this day and time can actually move. It wasn't like they had, you know, we don't really have any Tank Abbots like we used to have at heavyweight. Now we have guys, you know, you know, even though they don't have anything to do with this, you know, big heavyweights that come to mind are still Francis Ngannou, Cain Velasquez, Andre Arlovsky. You know, to me, when I think of heavyweight, I look at those guys because they are so big and so athletic, you know. Even though I fought Andre, I don't want to go through those problems again because he was a monster, you know what I mean? So why not go down to light heavyweight where I have a better chance, you know? Now I'm in a bracket where I got the best of the best fighting all at pretty much one time. So I'll take my chances at light heavyweight before I take my chances at heavyweight. But if Scott Coker wants me to fight at heavyweight, then just sign me up, I'll do it.
Damon?
Hey AJ, when you were retired, I remember having a chat with you, and you said at that point, the only thing that really motivates you to come out of retirement, you said you always wanted to get that fight with John Jones back. You always wanted that because you never got it. But now that you're back and you look at this field, and you look at a guy like Yoel Romero, who's a legend in his own right, you look at Bader, you look at all the other guys in the field, like, can you kind of speak to the motivation you have now versus maybe when you were in your prime in the UFC or where you're at now, like in terms of the field of competition you're about to face?
Oh, it's still high. The competition is still high. Of course, it was a bummer I didn't get to fight John, but the past is the past. I haven't thought about it anymore. Only people that bring it up, are fans and media. I don't really think about it because it's been so long ago. It will go down in history as one of those fights that never happened. And I always told myself I didn't want to be one of those stories, but unfortunately I am one of those stories. But you know what? I feel like I'm fighting John Jones regardless. I got to fight Yoel. If I make, and everybody else in the weight class is right up there too. So I got my hands full, man. I got my hands full. John Jones is not even on my radar. Hasn't been for years. Now it's all about Bellator.
Let me ask to that point, everyone talks about your knockout power. We obviously know you pack a serious punch, but throughout your career, you have faced other guys with knockout power. But when you look at Yoel, I mean, that's what he's well known for, his explosiveness. He can put you out with one knee, one punch. Would you say in terms of knockouts, in terms of danger, he might be one of your most dangerous opponents you've ever faced?
Besides some of my training partners, yeah, I give Yoel that title. He's that I can think of right now. Yoel is the most dangerous fighter I've actually faced, I think.
Thanks, AJ.
All right, we'll go to Gareth Davies.
Good evening, gentlemen from London. I have a question, first of all, for Rumble and then for Yoel. Rumble, 4 years away from the sport. Has that been good for you? And do you feel your body particularly refreshed and rejuvenated having that time away rather than feeling ring rust?
Yeah, I retired. I did what I wanted to do. I got fat and happy, lived my life to the fullest. After watching DC and Stipe fight, they lit a fire up under me, and to get back in there. I felt like I still had it. I still feel like I got it. And I can't say had. I feel like I still got it. So we'll see, man. I think the stars are aligned for me, and things are going to happen that are great. But this is anybody's game right now.
And finally, for Rumble, does it amaze you now when you look back that you were able to make 170 and fight at welterweight at one point?
Yeah, there's a lot of prayer going into fighting 170. I just know when I was fighting 170, I think I spent more time on the treadmill and losing weight than I did on the mat, getting in the work that I needed to get. I don't regret fighting 170 because if I hadn't fought at 170, people probably wouldn't know who I am, because if I would have went up to 185, you had Rich Franklin and Nate Corey and just monster after monster after monster at 185, and I was so green. Those boys would, I can't even call them boys. I'm sorry about that, gentlemen. Those men they would have eaten me alive. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, I don't want those problems. So I'm glad I made my mark at 170 and then climbed the ladder about going up in different weight classes.
Well, you look in fantastic shape. Yoel, mi amigo, ¿cómo estás, hermano? Señor, I wanted to ask you, are you excited as well about the tournament format? And does $1 million, even though you want to win the title and win the tournament, does $1 million mean a lot as well?
Que como dicen de ser parte del torneo. Y si la parte de coger el millón, de ganar el torneo y ser campeón, si te excita.
Hello, my friend from London. I am very excited for the fight. I am very excited for where I can do what I like it. I'm not excited for the money, I'm very excited what I can do, what I love it, you know. I'm very excited with what I can do, what the God give me in my life. That is the most important for me, you know, because when I in the beginning in my career, when I have 8 years old, I'm not thinking about nothing about money. I'm not thinking about nothing about economy. I think about I want to say the best and the best in the world. I want to say the best in my country, in my city. You know, that's what I think.
All right, we'll take one or two more questions here for these light heavyweights, starting with Dylan.
Hi, thanks for taking my call here, guys. My first question was for Yoel here because I'm noticing it's closing in on a decade since the last time he's competed as a light heavyweight. I'm kind of wondering how he feels getting ready to return to competition at 205 pounds.
Hace como 10 años que no ha competido en 205. ¿Cómo siente ahora volver a pelear 205?
Oh, it's amazing. Yeah, it's a lot of years ago, you know, but now it's amazing. I can eat a little more. I'm training very happy. It's not when I go to the 184, I'm training happy too. But now everybody know when you can eat. Everybody know what I'm talking about, you know, because when you can eat, you have a little more energy. You train a little more happy, you know. I say thank you God that give me the opportunity to stay in the Bellator and came forward.
All right, looks like we're having some connection problems here. Let's move to our next question really quick, and hopefully we can get Yoel back up.
Yeah, for sure.
Damn, that went way south.
Hey, Rumble, just two quick questions here. I guess we're
All
still
right.
waiting on Yoel. So first and foremost, you mentioned earlier, you know, during this call that you've had your eyes on Bellator for a while. I'm just curious, why is that? What was it that intrigued you about them? Is it Scott Coker? Is it the way they do business? What was it, and why now to strike a deal with them?
I just feel like it was the right move, and you know, at this time in my life, I think Bellator gives just as many opportunities as any other organization. Just because, and a lot of people still don't know who Bellator is, you know, but Yoel and I will change that. That's for sure. I just felt like it was time to move on and try something new, and why not go to the you know, top of the food chain, Bellator, man. It's they open their doors to me. So why not take that opportunity and see what I can do there? I made my mark in other places. I want to make my mark here too.
All right, our last question for these gents will come from Igor Lazarin. Igor, your line is live.
Maybe you got scared.
Okay, Santiago, your line is live.
Hi, Anthony. Greetings from Amsterdam.
What's up, brother?
What's up? How did your camp go at Sanford MMA? And is Henry Hooft going to be in your corner for his fight?
Yes. The Dutch master, Henry Hooft, will be there. He'll be in my corner for sure. That's my guy. That's my right-hand man. Camp was great. I mean, no injuries. The guys pushed me. It's very hard to find a fighter to mimic Yoel because his movement is so unique. You know, he's smooth, he's slick, you know, he's smart. Not many fighters are like that. And so to get a fighter like that in your camp, that's pretty hard to find when they have, you know, everything that this man has. So we just did the best that we could. Like I said, I had a great camp. I don't regret anything during camp. We worked hard, blood, sweat, and tears, and now we're here, you know? So we get to show that and display it May 7th.
Good luck next week.
Thank you.
All right, Igor, are you with us?
Yeah, I'm here. Hi there, guys. Glad to hear you.
Go ahead with your question, please.
Yeah, okay. My question to Yoel. Yoel, hi there. So question is, now you're in light heavyweight. How about step upstairs to heavyweight and fight, I don't know, maybe against Fedor Emelianenko? He's not so big now. And legend against legend. How about it?
Sorry, Igor. It does look like, oh, I think we got him back. Yoel, are you there?
Hey, he's not here. Yeah.
Yeah, we're having some trouble with Yoel's connection.
Sorry, guys.
All right. Thanks very much. We'll wrap it up with the light heavyweights. Thank you, gentlemen, for being with us today.
Thank you, man.
And I'll turn it back to BC, Brian Campbell.
Thank you so much, Danny. And of course, thanks so much to Anthony Rumble Johnson and Yoel Romero, your co-main event participants in the quarterfinal matchup of the light heavyweight world Grand Prix. Of course, Friday, May 7th, 9 p.m. Eastern, only on Showtime, Bellator 258. But let's get into this main event, a bantamweight world title bout. Let's welcome in the champ himself, the Spaniard Juan Archuleta, and of course, his opponent, Milwaukee's best, Sergio Pettis. The champ, Juan, it's hard to talk to you without that great hat you typically wear
right?
here. It's iconic, but let's be honest, 2019, you entered the 16-man featherweight Grand Prix field. You lost to the champ, Patricio Pitbull, but you bounced back in a big way. 2 victories. You defeated Patchy Mix for that vacant bantamweight title. What a difference 1 year makes. How confident are you entering May 7th?
Yeah, absolutely. It's the story of my life, right? You always get dealt some adversity, but it's not how you, what happens in that adversity is how you overcome it. But, I felt great going in. I knew it was going to be a tough task at hand. Lost the challenge, lost the fight, but I knew I was a champion still. So went back to the drawing board, busted my ass. And now I'm the champ. Now I've got to face Sergio Pettis, who's a badass himself. And I'm ready to throw some leather with him.
Juan, you are 20-1 since 2015. You're 33 years old. You're streaking at the moment. Why is bantamweight a better fit for you at this point in your career?
Honestly, it's any weight, but bantamweight right now is just felt where my career was taking me. With the division being held up. So knowing that I could make the weight, knowing I could be a champion at that weight class, right now in my career, before I get much older, I can make the weight and make it healthy.
And Sergio, definitely want to talk to you here. 27 years old on a 3-fight win streak, 2-0 under the Bellator banner. Has a title shot come quicker than you might have imagined after joining this organization more than a year ago?
Yeah, man, definitely quicker than I imagined, but I'm ready for it all. I've been through a lot of adversity early on in my career, faced a lot of tough opponents. Feel like I got enough experience. I'm also mature, more mature now. Younger, I wasn't ready to deal with the pressure and everything. So I believe I'm in the right mindset, the right physicality to take this fight and to challenge for that title.
Absolutely. We definitely want to turn you guys now to the media for their questions. Let's bring back Danny Brenner and get this thing going.
Thanks again, Brian. We'll start things off here with Jay. Your line is live.
Thanks once again, Danny. And I will start with the champ Juan. Any number of champions have said that it's harder to defend the title than it is to capture it. This being your first title defense, is the feeling any different this time around?
Yeah, of course, that's the hardest thing to do is defend your throne, right? But that goes into people who have different mindsets than me. For me, every fight from this point on, continuing to win, I get to fight for a world title every fight. So that's the mentality going into this fight. This fight right now, I don't have the belt. It's up for grabs. So Sergio and I are going to be banging it out to see who gets to walk away with it.
All right. And for Sergio, I mean, your brother did fight last week. Obviously, that didn't go his way. With the two of you competing just weeks apart, how does that factor in both in terms of training and your motivation for this fight?
No, nothing new, man. Honestly, I'm used to that. You know, that's how sport goes. There's ups and downs. Me and Anthony are completely different people. He's got to worry about his career. I got to worry about my career. Right now, this is a big opportunity in front of me, fighting 25-2 Juan Archuleta. I know it's going to be a war, so you know, I'm all focused, man. I'm all in. I'm tuned in. I'm present, and I'm ready to go out there and do what I got to do.
Thank you, sir.
Mike, your line is live.
Hey, Sergio. Going back to your brother, he did talk about being in camp with you and the intensity of you preparing for a title fight kind of pushed him even further. Now, when you talked about how quickly you've gotten a title shot, knowing how camp has been leading up to this fight, what is it for you specifically that you think led you to get this quick title shot? I know you talked about maturity, but just what have you seen within yourself to get you to this fight?
I mean, it's just my career, man. I fought some of the best of the best. I fought guys that were, you know, in the UFC that became legends in the sport, you know, OGs in the sport, vets. So, you know, I've been through it all, and I feel like, you know, this is my time to come out here and do what I got to do. Me and Juan are going to put on a good fight next Friday, and we'll see what happens, man. I'm all in. Like I said, I'm focused. I'm ready. I know he's focused and he's ready. And like you said, that belt's up for grabs. So I'm excited.
And Juan, very quickly, you know, obviously Sergio, as you both have mentioned, it's going to be a firefight. How do you prepare for a guy like Sergio, and what have been some of your focuses leading into this fight?
Well, what you're going to see with this fight with me and Sergio is the future of MMA. We're both the future of MMA. We both have the styles where we could put it together and go out there and exploit it. You know, so with this fight, you're going to see the highest hybrid of martial arts that you could possibly see. He's been young in the sport, growing up into the man he is now. Like he said, he's been fighting the best in the world nonstop. It's not that he had a quick title fight. He's been doing this at a young age, you know. And then me coming in at 25-2, same thing. I've been laying my groundwork and working out with guys like TJ Dillashaw, Cub Swanson, Georgie Karakhanyan, Syed Awad, Ray Dan. I mean, the list goes on to make me who I am. And that's why you're going to see the future of MMA happen come Friday night.
Thanks, guys.
Damon?
Sergio, when you first came into the UFC, you already had so much hype around you from what you had done outside the promotion, of course, having the famous last name, and you had to go through a lot of ups and downs. But now as you enter into this title fight and this opportunity, do you feel like you've you finally started to reach your prime of your career to where you're ready for this kind of moment? You're ready for this kind of opportunity?
Yeah, man, I'm definitely ready for this opportunity. I feel like I've had a test early on in my career that was going to lead me into title shots, and I had to learn, man. I was young, fighting some of the best in the world. Wasn't as mature as I am now. Didn't take the sport as serious as I do now, or myself. And like I said, all that stuff led me into the man I am today. And I'm ready, man. I'm ready to go out there and do what we got to do. Me and Juan about to go to war, baby. 2 days after Cinco de Mayo. It's gonna be a fun one.
And a question for the champ, Juan. You know, for the longest time, you were one of the guys outside of the major organizations that everyone had our eyes on, saying he's going to be the guy one day. And now that you are here, you beat a guy in Patchy Mix, who's an incredible fighter. Now you get a chance to fight, you know, really, obviously a very, very well-known name and an accomplished guy like Sergio. What would it mean to add a guy like that to your resume as you continue to build your own legacy? And second part to that question, I'm curious, as you are champion now, is there any part of you down the road that would like to fight Kyoji Horiguchi, you know, once he's back and healthy? And not that your titles reign's not legit, it's absolutely legit, but just because, you know, he never got a chance to come back and fight again.
Yeah. So the first part of that question, you know, shoot, you got me excited about Kyoji, so I forgot about the first part. But what was that first part again? I'm sorry.
Just about adding a guy like, you know, a guy like Sergio.
Yeah, I mean, basically, I didn't want to be a splash in the pan starting my MMA career. I wanted to take my time and really make this a career, right? So I took my time, took the right necessary precautions to build myself up and become a superstar. And I felt like I did that. And even in the beginning stages of signing with Bellator was, okay, take my time, let the organization know that I'm for real. And once I did that, They gave me the opportunity to fight for the belt. First time didn't go my way, but showed that adversity wasn't going to hold me back. I'm still a champion, and going and beating a guy like Henry Corrales my next fight, and then turning around and beating a guy like Patchy Mix made people know I was for real and I am a champ. So now going out there and find the world's best, like a Sergio Pettis, or like that brings clout, that brings a stamp on my name, and lets people know that I am the best bantamweight in the world. As far as the KOG fight, like, we've gave him many opportunities. He's had his chance. Like, I told Scott Coker myself, I said, hey, I feel with him being a champ, it's his right to have the first fight, shot at the title. He didn't take it. That's his problem. And Sergio was obviously the number one contender after that. So here we are, going to bang it out on Friday night.
Thank you, Juan.
All right, we'll go to Gareth Davies.
Good evening from London, gentlemen. First of all, to the champion, El Campeón, Juan Archuleta. Juan, you're known as the Spaniard for a reason, notwithstanding Sergio's challenge against you. Should you return victorious, you're known as the Spaniard for a reason. How much would you like to come to Europe when COVID allows to defend your title here in London or in Dublin or even, say, in Madrid?
Yeah, I mean, that'll be a priceless experience. To be able to go into your homeland or even step in Europe and just let people know that I'm for reals would be a priceless opportunity.
Looking in fantastic shape. And a final question, because we have to keep this brief, to Sergio. Sergio, great to see you. Given that we would all admit, I think, that, as Brian pointed out, Juan, 20-1 in the last 6 years, he really is physically, mentally, and emotionally in his prime. Does this rank as the toughest fight in your career to date?
For sure. It's one of the toughest fights in my career. His record speaks for itself. He's only lost 2 times. It's like he's one of the best in the bantamweight division and other divisions as well. He's been around for a while. I've been watching him for a while too, man. It's not like I haven't been watching, fan of Juan. But yeah, man, this is definitely my toughest fight up to date. I'm excited for this opportunity, man. This is everything I could ask for. I'm not trying to fight no slouches. I'm trying to fight the best. Fighting Juan Archuleta. He's 20-1 since forever. I mean, man, this is this is everything I could ask for. This is everything that I prepped for. My life has led me into this. This is gonna be my 10th year fighting professionally at the age of 28. So I'm excited to go out there and get a belt for myself and create my legacy.
All right, we'll take 2 more questions for these gentlemen and then wrap it up with questions for Bellator President Scott Coker. Darren, your line is live.
Thanks for having me. Sergio, Juan, quick question for both of you. What would you say, besides having this great upcoming fight, is your biggest career accomplishment within the MMA world?
Who you want first? I guess I'll go first. Yeah, I'll go first, man. I would say my biggest accomplishment would be fighting, getting a win over Joseph Benavidez. As a guy that I looked up to a lot, a guy that I trained with when I was 17, and he was piecing me up at that time. So to go out there and make that weight at 125, which is a tough weight cut, and to go out there and learn the discipline and learn how much shine that I have to myself that I didn't know I had, and that was definitely one of the bigger accomplishments of my career.
For myself, Darren, I mean, the biggest impact I've had in my career is seeing how much impact I've had in the young MMA crowd and just young teenagers in general. It's just to be able to see that a guy that comes from pretty much nowhere come out and win a world championship in a big organization like Bellator has had a huge impact on their lives. And, it makes you emotional thinking about it, even talking to these guys. And, to see that they want to further their future in MMA has been a huge milestone in my career.
All right, Igor, your line is live.
Yeah, hello guys. Juan, Sergio. Hello from St. Petersburg, Russia. So the same question to both guys. Could you say a few words about the newcomer of Bellator, Magomed Magomedov? He's number 3 in ranking. He said many words about his ambitions and plans in this division. What do you think about this guy?
Yeah, I'll go first. obviously he's a great fighter. His only loss is to Peter Yan, but you know, you come in with some accolades like that. It's time to step up and fight these guys in the top 10. You know, start making your own name for the title run. Just because you're fighting guys outside the top 10 doesn't make you a #1 contender, in my opinion. But you know, he's definitely tough. He definitely has the talent to be one of the top contenders for the 135 division. But I'd like to see also him compete against those top guys in the division.
Yeah, same, man. Same. I agree with Juan. You know, he's got to fight. He's got to fight the guys that should get him into the bigger names. You know, like the top 5, top 10. And he's good though. You know, he's good. He's only got his 1 loss to Peter Yan. I think he defeated Peter Yan as well. I've been watching him, man. It's not like I haven't been watching him. I'm watching everybody in this division. So definitely got some talent, but we'll see where he goes. He's got to fight some tough guys coming up.
Okay, and we'll take our last question for these gentlemen from Dylan Bowker.
Awesome. Thanks for the time, guys. I was just curious because Sergio mentioned a bit earlier that this contest would be days after Cinco de Mayo, and there's such a great tradition of combat sports kind of coinciding with that. I'll posit the question first to Sergio, but also curious to hear Juan's thoughts. Like, what are your feelings on being part of that kind of rich history coinciding with Cinco de Mayo, sort of?
That's awesome, man. Especially, you know, fighting 2 days after a big celebration. There's always a big fight. You know, there's always legendary boxing fights, and so to be a legendary MMA fight under Bellator, fighting for a title, it's an honor. It's a blessing, and I'm ready for this challenge. Excited for this challenge. Excited to show out for everybody for you know, for Cinco de Mayo, all my Hispanic fans, and it's awesome, man. It's awesome.
Yeah, for me, I mean, it's paying homage to my ancestors, paying homage to my relatives and everyone that has been before me. That's what it's about. And come fight night, you're going to be able to see that. Not me only wearing it, but me going out there and performing it as well. So again, it's an honor to do that. It's an honor to step on the stage with another Hispanic athlete that's world renowned and go out there and put on one of the best performances of my life.
All right, fantastic. Thank you, gentlemen. I'll turn it back to Brian Campbell, and we'll finish things off with Scott Coker.
Thanks so much, Danny. Special thanks again. Obviously, the main eventers, Juan Archuleta, Sergio Pettis. Cannot wait for that Friday, May 7th on Showtime. Scott Coker, the Bellator president. I wanted to talk to you briefly about the rest of this card because it is a strong one. When you look at this welterweight division, Michael Venom Page, 4-fight win streak since losing in the welterweight World Grand Prix to current champ Douglas Lima. But he's got a let's say, red hot Derek Anderson in front of him. We've got Bellator rankings now. There's a larger title picture. How close could the winner of this one be to stepping up to the highest level?
I mean, definitely, it's going to help, you know, improve their position, and then we'll see how the rankings fall out. And you know, we announced a fight with Douglas Lima against Amosov, and that's going to be the next one. And then we'll see how it goes from there. Listen, Derek Anderson is a fighter that we've been trying to put this fight together with MVP for probably, you know, the last 3 or 4 cycles. So for some reason, somebody got hurt or this person dropped out, or and then it just never happened. But this will be a good test for MVP. And listen, I love both those kids' styles. I love MVP. I love Derek Anderson. And, you know, to me, I'm looking forward to just sitting back and watching a great fight.
And the other main card bout comes from the lightweight division. Patricky Pitbull, of course, the brother of 2-division champion Patricio, going in there against the showstopper Peter Queally. And I don't know if this will end in a problem here, Scott, but if Patricky keeps winning at lightweight and his brother's the champ, his goal is to be the champ too. What are we going to do here?
Oh, boy, I don't know. I mean, you know, there's been some crazy talk around here because, you know, that's what said to me, you never know. These brothers might want to fight. They're that crazy. I said, no, I don't know about that. Let's cross that bridge when it comes. But, you know, he's got his hands full. I mean, Peter Queally is no joke. He comes from SPG. You know, they have that rivalry, the little battle going back and forth between those gyms. So I think it's going to be heated. I think this fight's going to be really heated, and interested to see what happens. And then the winner will advance up the rankings, and then we'll start putting, you know, after the fight, you know, with AJ and Pitbull, we'll see what he wants to do. If he wants to move up to lightweight and defend his belt, if not, you know, he's got to let it go at some point. But you know, it's going to be up to him, and he's still our lightweight champion. And these guys are all fighting to get to that title shot. And let's, you know, again, if Peter wins, he's going to be right up there on the top. And you know, Pitbull wins. Pitbull versus Pitbull. Don't count it out.
Whew, you never know. Let's go back to Danny Brenner for any questions for Bellator president Scott Coker.
Yeah, we'll have time for 2 or 3 questions here. We'll start with Gareth Davies. Your line is live.
Yes, London calling again. Scott, it's been so obvious tonight with the 4 athletes on the call, and indeed an exemplary 257 event just gone, that when there's so much puerile and juvenile smack talk on social media, that your athletes, warriors that they are, carry themselves so well, and there's so little trash talking. What does that mean to you?
Well, listen, every athlete is different. Sometimes, it goes the other way. But these gentlemen on the call today, on the Zoom call, and on the phone, I mean, they're professional. They've been at this for a long time. They know what's on the line next Friday, and they're going to bring it. And I don't think win, lose, or draw, you're not going to hear any excuses. But I think there's going to be some fireworks next Friday night on Showtime. So tune in.
Manabu.
Yeah.
Your line is live.
Okay, Scott, can I ask you one thing about Kyoji? Because Juan Archuleta told us that he didn't get the chance to the title shot this time. So how much do you concerning about Kyoji will be a next title challenger?
I'll tell you, it's something that we'll definitely have a discussion after this fight. Let's see how this fight goes for these gentlemen. There's a lot of competition coming up in the bantamweight division. And so, we'll see how it is. Listen, I love Kyoji. He's a great fighter. I think he's definitely, top 2 or 3 in the world right now. When he fights or when he doesn't fight, I'm just not sure. But I will say this, we have tried several times to send Juan to Japan to fight. But the dates just kept moving, and, we just couldn't figure it out. So it didn't happen, but it is, we're open to it. Because I don't mind these cross-promotional fights. I enjoy them, but the timing has to be right. It has to work for, obviously, Sakibara, but it also has to work for us as a company, and we're getting very busy.
Jake, your line is live.
Hi, Scott. How are you doing? Fighting in Bellator 258's co-main event is 2 former UFC title contenders who many fans were really excited about when they both signed late last year. This week, rumours circulated that the former UFC welterweight champion Tyrone Woodley had been released from the promotion. Would you be interested in bringing him across to Bellator MMA at all?
I'll tell you, I haven't heard officially that he's released, and I'm not sure what his plans are. I'm not sure he's going to retire or what. But for me, T Wood and I are friends. We'll always have a conversation, and we'll take it from there. But right now we don't have any plans to, because I just don't know what his plans are.
Igor, your line is live.
Hi there, Scott. Russia calling.
Hello.
Do you have already any options for Fedor? Maybe it's Overeem or Dos Santos. Do you have any options for him?
Yes. You know what? We did speak about 3 days ago, and we talked about opponents, and he's going to go and talk to the coach and get back to me. So we're expecting any day now we'll have an opponent for Fedor, maybe even something we can announce next Friday on the broadcast. But for right now, we don't have anything to announce, but we will shortly.
All right, we've had London and Russia, and now we'll go to Amsterdam. Santiago?
Hi, Scott. Greetings from Amsterdam. Last night, Dutch Fight Network broke the news that Costello Van Steenis is out of his fight with Lorenz Larkin. Is the promotion trying to find a new opponent for Lorenz to keep him on this Bellator 258 card?
Yes, we are. That was unfortunate. I had just heard about it, and so we're in the process of booking Lorenz another fight. So we'll know, probably today or tomorrow if that's going to happen. But I'm feeling that pretty good that we will find Lorenz another opponent.
All right, and we'll wrap things up here with Damon Martin. Damon?
Scott, when we spoke a couple months ago, you were one of the people kind of on the early train of, touting that Jake Paul would beat Ben Askren, and you were just being honest about it. Obviously, it happened. We've seen so much these last couple of weeks of people trying to call him out and fight him, crossover. You're one of the few guys in MMA who's always been open to crossovers and open to cross promoting and things like that. Are you interested in getting involved in the Jake Paul business?
Well, listen, I have a lot of respect for those guys. They definitely are disruptors. They've, built a nice business for themselves. but it has to be fair. And what I mean by that is, look, we are in the business of mixed martial arts, right? So if you want to come fight one of our guys, right, and you want to fight a grappler or a wrestler, and so you have the advantage, well, that's fine. I respect that, but you have to come fight our guy in MMA too, because that's what they do. Our fighters are not just boxers; they are, mixed martial artists. So to me, if it's an even playing field, we'll participate, and that's really how I feel that it should go down. Now, if they're two boxers and they choose to fight each other, that's a different story. But how I feel is, if you want to just keep fighting the grapplers and the wrestlers, then there has to be something that's equitable for us, which is maybe a rematch in mixed martial arts. And I think those kids could do it. You're talking about a very high level college background in wrestling. They're young, they're physical, they're not afraid to spar, get hit. They're training with some of the best boxers in the planet right now. And so I think they could do it, but that would have to be something that would have a conversation in depth about how we would work that out.
Thanks, Scott.
Thank you.
Thank you, Scott. I'll turn it back to BC to wrap this up.
Thank you so much, Danny. Thank you so much to the media members for taking part. Bellator President Scott Coker and our co-main event and main event participants. A reminder, Bellator 258 can only be seen on Showtime Friday, May 7th, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific, the Bantamweight title main event and the final quarter-final round matchup of the Bellator Light Heavyweight World Grand Prix Rumble versus Romero. Yeah, wow. Buckle up. Can't wait to check that out. This is Brian Campbell, of course. Thank you so much for joining us. The Bellator 258 virtual press conference. Enjoy the fights May 7th. We'll see you.